Hey guys, Mason here. Welcome back to The Sweet Spot, where I create delicious desserts that you guys can follow along with at home. As always, the full written recipe and list of ingredients, they're down below in the description box. Also, while you're down there, if you want to join the family, just click that subscribe button and you'll get 2 new videos every week. Alright, today's video is a special video. Now, a couple years ago, on my birthday, I received Mary Berry's Baking Bible. It's a pretty hefty cookbook. It's hardback. It's one of my prized possessions. I love Mary Berry. I love Bake Off. So it was really special when I received this gift. Now today, I'm going to be making a banoffee pie out of that, and we're gonna follow along with what the cookbook says. And some ingredients I had to substitute out because we don't have them in the States. If you all want to follow along, stick around and we'll get started. First, let's make this graham cracker crust or this ginger biscuit crust. So today we're going to be making her banoffee pie. If you have the Baking Bible, it's on page 349. So we're gonna follow this recipe to a T and see how it comes out. I've never actually made it myself, but it looks absolutely delicious. So let's get started. Now, with a lot of the ingredients, because it is European, a lot of them have been weighed out, so literally everything here except for the sweetened condensed milk has been weighed out. So if you're gonna make this, you need a kitchen scale. All right, to get started, we're gonna make our crust. And in her recipe, she calls for 175 grams or 6 ounces of ginger biscuits. I'm going to be using 175 grams of graham crackers. That's what we have here in the States. Now there are ginger biscuits, but because this is just a basic graham cracker crust, that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to make it all in my food processor. Just makes the whole thing a lot easier. We're going to break these up, throw them in. We're going to melt our butter down, and she calls for 65 grams or 2.5 ounces of unsalted butter. Now I'm just going to melt this in the microwave on 10-second intervals until it's melted down and we can pour it into our graham cracker crust. Just gonna drizzle it around the edge. Pour that all in. Let's give this a mix up. It'll make everything all stick together. Alright, now we've gotten our pie pan. Now, she informs us we need to mix well, then spread the mixture over the base and sides of a 9-inch deep, loose-bottomed, fluted flan tin. Now, I don't have a flan tin because I don't make a lot of flan, so I'm just going to use my pie plate. A glass bowl to press this down into my pan and up the sides. Oh, she wasn't kidding, this does make a lot of crust. Guess that's why it calls for a deep 9-inch fluted flan tin. Which this is a 9-inch fluted pie tin, or pie pan. So I'm assuming that they're probably very similar. Right, now we'll fiddle with that all day, but that looks perfect. Alright, now let's make the filling. Now, this is actually a no-bake pie, so everything we're going to do is going to be on the stove, and then it's going to chill in the fridge. Alright, now on the hob, as they say in the UK or I hear on YouTube, we're going to add 1 stick or 4 ounces of unsalted butter and 100 grams of light muscovado sugar. We don't have that in the States, but we do have light brown sugar, which is very similar, I've read. Now it says to heat these gently on the stove, and once these are all melted together, we're gonna add our 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk. Now everything's almost melted down completely. We're gonna wait for the light brown sugar to dissolve, it says. So I guess we'll just keep mixing this until that all dissolves. All right, now I'm going to assume everything has dissolved and combined nicely. That took about 5 to 6 minutes on medium-low heat. Now we're gonna add in, look at that. That looks delicious. We're gonna add the other can. Now I'm thinking my pot might have been too small. My pot was definitely too small. Cut to a bigger pot. Now I'm supposed to be continually stirring because apparently it catches easily. Hopefully, we've given it enough time and it doesn't catch. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Now we're waiting for a dark brown toffee color. And it says it should take about 5 minutes, but to stir constantly because it will catch on the bottom and burn. It is actually turning a darker color, which I didn't think it was going to, but it is. But it is Mary Berry and she knows everything. This will continually stir and we'll come back here once we've reached the color. I'll keep an eye on the time to let you all know how long it takes. All right, now we've gotten our toffee off the heat. We're gonna pour it into our prepared pan. Now, she said that it would get thicker and go to a darker color, which it did go to a darker color, but it didn't really thicken up. And it's actually pretty thin, so I'm hoping that won't affect the way that it sits. I thought about adding a little cornstarch just to make sure it's set up and congealed, but I'm gonna follow the recipe and we'll see how it turns out. Now, before we cut our bananas or do any of that stuff, we're gonna let this cool completely to room temperature and it should set up. And then we will prepare our bananas and our chocolate. All right, now we're gonna let this sit in the fridge for at least 6 to 8 hours to set completely, because when we cut into this, we want it to be like one of those custard pies that you get a nice clean line and you can lift it out as a triangular slice. All right, our banoffee pie is out of the refrigerator. It was in there for 4 hours. Now, she says to decorate the top, to make the topping, whip the double cream until it just holds its shape and spread it evenly across the cold toffee mixture. I've already whipped up my cream. This is the amount she called for. It was 300 milliliters of double cream. Now she says to cut 1 large banana into medallions. I don't know if I had 1 large banana, so I did 2 small ones. We'll just arrange those like that. All right, and lastly, we're going to top with, I use chocolate chips that I just crushed in a food processor. Sprinkle those across the top of it. And there we have it. Now, tell me that's not gorgeous. Look at that. Woo, I can't wait to dig into this. So what do you guys think? Now, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. When I tried to cut it, it turned into a puddle. Like, it's thick, but it's not set completely. And it's been in my refrigerator for 6 hours now. I'm gonna leave it overnight to see if I can cut a clean piece from that. I don't know why it didn't set. It was completely cooled down and it didn't move from the top when I shook it. But just because it's ugly doesn't mean that it tastes bad. So, not bad. The banana and the toffee, they play really well together. You get just a little bit of that dark chocolate or that bittersweet chocolate, kind of balance all the sweetness out. Pretty good. Like I said, I'm going to wait until tomorrow to see if letting it sit longer is going to make any bit of difference. I have a feeling it's not, just because there was no setting agent in the toffee, but we'll see. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. All right, that's all we've got this week. But if you want 2 recipes every week from now on, click that subscribe button down below. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to check out my website. Sign up for my newsletter and I'll send you a monthly recipe overview. Also, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. I cannot urge that enough. Hey guys, I just thought I would do a quick check-in. It's the next day after I've prepared the banoffee pie. It's still not set completely. I just don't think that this method works. I love Mary Berry to death, but I think to make this pie set, you are gonna have to boil the cans to turn it into caramel or dulce de leche. Thank you for joining me today. From my home to yours, enjoy.